Alright, this is my highly impromptu review of the Gecko 24 chassis. Micro crawler chassis. I should call it a micro scaler chassis. 4-wheel drive, lock differentials front and rear. This thing is, just right off the bat, this thing is fantastic. I mean, I thought it was going to be cool, but it's beyond cool. It's freaking awesome. There's the shocks. Here's how they work. If you're doing something like I'm doing, which is utilizing this chassis to its fullest capabilities by building a open top vehicle, Scout SS. The chassis is laid out amazingly. The frame rails are just so low slung. Everything is so low slung. It's brilliant. It's well thought out, extremely well thought out, and executed, excellently executed. Transmission on this thing is like, it's freaking awesome. It's so tiny compared to a penny there. So yeah, I mean, size wise, the transmission's more like the size of a dime, and see how low it is. It only sticks up that much. It literally goes in the transmission well of your model body and leaves loads of room to spare for the motor that protrudes here. The motor is a geared motor, so you get the proper gearing, and you can get it in a few different RPM offerings. Check out tiny4x4.com for those as well. When you get this unit, there's a number of things that they do extra to ensure that you're getting a unit that is ready to perform and is well assembled. They'll be there for you if you have problems or anything. See the drive shafts. Let me focus there. There you go. So wicked. The axles are freaking awesome. Very scale. Their tires, the Gecko tires, are really nice. Even the smallest ones are pretty dang gone soft. I am a big tire Nazi when it comes to how well tires perform on micro crawlers. So let's do a little flex shot here. What did I have the other day that was perfect? This guy. That is about the extent of your flex, a little bit more before you lift a tire. That's another awesome thing. They have a tuning pack. They have, like, I think it was 4 different stiffnesses of coils that you can use. So I bought every one of them to tune mine. But if you do flex this thing completely, there is maximum flex. That's a lot. And anybody that thinks that isn't a lot, you need to realize that flex is not everything, and that is plenty of flex. That is a full standing tire's worth of flex which is ideal. So what else? The servo. The servo is chassis mounted, which is freaking fantastic. Leaves your axle wide open there for excellent scale looks. So yeah, that's without a bumper on. So once you get a bumper on there, and I'm going to go ahead and color that. The red portion is like a 3D printed mount that comes with the kit. Some of the things I've used already, but it comes with all kinds of hardware that you'll use. There's an extra gear in there, transmission gear. There's some, let's see, what were those before? I guess those are a couple extra ball cups. I can't think of anything else now that those ball cups will go to. Yeah, there's a couple more ball studs in there, obviously, for the servo. There's 2 Allen wrenches, and this is the portion of the rear drive shaft that I will need to use when I finalize my wheelbase. And I'm told that this is on the short wheelbase version. The long wheelbase version has a different style of drive. I think it's a threaded drive shaft. This is a cut and glue, or you can pin. You can choose to pin it as well. I suppose you could put some flat spots on here and then drill and run a pin. This has a spot for, there you go. You can tell this is a spot for a pin to go through it, and then there's your drive pin that goes into the transmission there. Output. Here is your motor mount location right there. So it's a 3-link style. You see there. High point to this chassis, the adjustability, which is fantastic. And it's like everything else on this thing so far. You have the rails here, the frame rails. The front here are fixed in place, but the rears, you just simply loosen these 2 on both sides, and it slides on a track. There you can see. And there are actually multiple locations that you can put your screws in for more adjustability and length. You can look on the website, check them out at tiny4x4.com for more information. They have the listed lengths of adjustability of the 2 different chassis. But mounting, you have these little guys right here that also the control arms hook up to. You have ball studs to them there, and you just mount your body up. Mine, this particular model kit, the Scout SS, it has molded frame rails. It has molded frame rails into the bottom, which I just simply dremeled them all off. And man, you just put this thing down and it's fantastic right off of the bat. It just will screw onto the bottom there. I mean, everything was just set up really well on this thing. Look, I mean, the servo is in the chassis, and still, look how much room you have God, it's awesome. It's awesome. This is going to be like an easy build. Okay. And then there's, I won't say oodles of room, but there's plenty of room for a 180 mAh 2S LiPo. Yeah, let's hood. Boom. There's the hood on. And every piece of electronics for this entire build will be under hood. That is awesome. That is awesome for A, scale looks, and B, weight up front. For a crawler, you want a 60-40 to 70-30 front bias weight balance, and I will undoubtedly have that with this build here, because of what I can do and how this chassis is laid out. A little bit turned into a build review of my specific build here, but I think that was necessary to show you the quality of this chassis and the thoroughly thought out and excellently executed design and layout of this chassis. The chassis already comes assembled, you know, so you don't have that build aspect of it like you would have for an Orlando. But if you want a top-notch scale chassis, this is it. This is the pinnacle. Let's also talk about, I don't know if I mentioned the tires. The tires are really soft. These are the smallest Gecko tire here. One trick that I have done with my bead locks. The bead locks, let's talk about the bead locks. The bead locks are gorgeous. Yeah, they're a 3-piece bead lock. So there is a center ring, aluminum ring that is, you know, about yay wide, that you throw into the whole tire, goes into the middle of the tire, and then you have your outside wheel face here, and then you have an inside portion, and they join up together and they slip into that inner ring, and they actually seal the bead of the tire. But it is not a vented bead lock design, so they seal the tire. So your tires are essentially air filled. Take a drill bit and drill a 1/8 hole into the middle of that inside ring, the middle bead lock ring. When you assemble them together, there will be room between those two, the outside and the inside wheel portion, to breathe and allow your tires to deform. So that's a little modification that I think would be an improvement to one of the Gecko aspects, is to make sure that the different wheel systems you have, the bead locks and such, have a breather hole. God, I can't knock anything else. I really can't. If you're interested in one of these, have a talk with Don Gargan or Mark Young on Facebook. Those are the two guys that run Tiny 4x4. And both really super helpful, super nice guys. They are hobbyists themselves, and they love to help out and just loaded with information. And I mean, they never don't want to talk to you. They're passionate about, you know, the hobby And that's just, you can't beat that. Yeah, ring and pinion axles. They are ring and pinion axles. Obviously not worm gear. My review of the Gecko 24 chassis is greatly exceeded my expectations. That's what I would say. I knew it was cool. I knew it was the best well thought out scale chassis on the market, but it's even cooler and better to work with. I just thought that there needed to be a review out there, because I don't know that there is. I found little information on this awesome little guy, so I needed to put that out there. Alright, thanks for watching.